really quick for you guys because I know that you notice it, and I would be embarrassed if you thought I didn't notice it. That my shirt's covered in tiny little white hairs. Can you see it? Okay, I went in the bathroom, I noticed it, and I should have paid attention before I got here, because before I came here tonight, I was wrestling with my grandpa. And I got his hairs all over my shirt. It was a fight to the death, and I'm here. Thank you. I had really good reason to be fighting him. My grandpa's one of those guys that like wants to go back to the good old days, you know, like back when America was thriving. And if you hear that and you think that you agree with him, just let me remind you that in the early 1960s, some women still couldn't legally vote. And in the mid-1960s, segregation was still legal. And in the early 1970s, somebody let a bunch of hippos get not just hungry, but hungry. If my grandpa could have it the way he wanted it, he would go back to the time when that one guy was still alive. It's the one guy that everyone thinks is alive even though he actually died. I think he died in a drive-by shooting. No, Tupac is alive. No, oh, I do know who it is. I know who it is. And it's the reason I was fighting him because it's so stupid. It's Humpty Dumpty, which is so dumb. But some people really think that. Some people think Humpty Dumpty didn't die. They think that all the king's horses and all the king's men did put him back together again, which is only the second craziest conspiracy theory about Humpty Dumpty. Because the first craziest conspiracy theory about Humpty Dumpty is that he wasn't an egg. Which I believe. I don't think Humpty Dumpty was an egg. It never calls him an egg. Humpty Dumpty sat on a wall, Humpty Dumpty had a great fall, all the king's horses and all the king's men couldn't put him back together again. It never calls him an egg. It never even says anything eggy about him. Like fell off a wall and the yolk gushed from the gaping hole in his egg head. It doesn't say that. I also looked it up, and Humpty Dumpty was written in 1797. And it's a fact that in 1797, 0% of men were eggs. So what? You all think Humpty Dumpty was an egg just because someone decided to draw him that way? Weird, but okay. Anyways, unrelated, here's a drawing someone drew of my family and I. I'm on the end. Oh, also, remember in Sunday school learning about Moses parting the Red Sea? What if I showed you this? It never said he wasn't an egg. Oh yeah, and how many disciples was it that Jesus had? A dozen? So if I ever have a kid, I don't want them learning about Humpty Dumpty. They're not allowed to know about Humpty Dumpty, which is fine. That's probably not an issue because I'm done having sex with people. Sex is boring. Sex is the same no matter who you're having sex with. Everyone just says the same thing. They lean over and they're like, ooh, you feel so good. I've heard it. Tell me something new. Say like, this is probably what Santa feels like when he's in the chimney. Or just say it in German, I don't care, make me feel special. I'm also done having sex because people are bad people, right? Like, isn't it so crazy that you can tell how cruel someone is by how ugly their chin is? Right? I'll prove it. Look, Jeffrey Dahmer. Hideous. John Wayne Gacy. That guy. Ted Bundy. Oh. That's a beautiful chin. Okay, I think Ted Bundy's innocent, so we'll skip that one. Jafar from Aladdin. My mom's, or the whale that killed all those trainers. My mom's dog that bites me if I get too excited. Satan. It never said he wasn't an egg. Beaker from the Muppets. Okay, guys, I know what you're thinking. You're all like, Beaker's not cruel, he's not evil, he never did anything bad. But this is where it gets really weird. Because the exact same year that Beaker was introduced on the Muppets was also the exact same year as Ted Bundy's first murder. And since we all collectively agreed that Ted Bundy's innocent, can we all collectively agree that Beaker framed Ted Bundy for all of the murders? Now listen, if you paid attention to anything I just said, you'll know none of it's true. But if you paid no attention at all, then it kind of makes sense. Also, lastly, just remember earlier when that guy tried to claim that Tupac was dead? I had someone sneak over and take a picture of his chin, and look. Thank you guys so much. I'm Peyton. Have a good night.
And you thought you weren't going to learn anything tonight.
You did it!
Yeah, and I feel mostly okay about
Yeah,
it.
great.
Thanks.
So good.
I did see the chin thing before. I do.
Yeah,
when you started, I was
because
like,
you're the one that told me.
Funny. I'm literally